Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Jones, and I'm a new instructional designer here. A little bit of background information about me is that I used to be a college instructor, and the reason why I'm telling you all that is I'm going to refer back to when I was I was actually teaching. So please don't think that so that's why I'm telling you this. Well, with I'm here to tell you about Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. And one of the really great things about Blackboard Collaborate Ultra is, of course, it is a conferencing tool that is available via Blackboard. It's already there. You don't have to worry about uploading any particular new software in terms of linking it to the course. The next thing is we're going to actually go over the types of uses for Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, as well as talk about how it can actually be used as an online course room. It can be used either asynchronously or synchronously, depending upon what you want to do. For example, I know that for summer sessions, some people like to record lectures and then put them up for later use. Or if you find yourself in a situation like we did with COVID-19, where you had a particular meeting point, and during class time, you could actually meet during class or during a scheduled time online. So this is also a great tool to upload PowerPoint as well as share files. You can also share your screen, and we'll go over that in a little bit. So now I am going to actually go and share my screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into Blackboard and show you how to set things up. Okay, can everybody see this? Can everybody see my Blackboard? Yes? Okay. So, fantastic. Okay, so here we are in my classroom. You can see that it immediately goes to announcements. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to your course menu and you're going to scroll all the way down to where your course management is. And for some of you guys, your course tools will not be open, so you'll have to open it. And then you go down to Blackboard Collaborate. A quick note, there is a Blackboard Collaborate and there is a Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. For this particular presentation that I'm doing is actually for Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So make sure that if this is the particular tool you're wanting to use, make sure you're clicking on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra and not Blackboard Collaborate. There is information about Blackboard Collaborate in the share file. So we go to and click on Collaborate Ultra. Immediately when it comes up on screen, we do have an automatic course room available. Now, you can actually use this course room, or you can create your own session, whichever one you so choose. Some instructors or professors have actually decided to use the course room as an office hours. So basically you can be synchronous with your, and meet in real time with your students if you are doing an online class. And so here, if you click on this, you'll see this session options. And you can join the course room, you can edit settings, you can view the reports by letting you know who's come in, so on and so forth, or you could lock the course room, which would make this unavailable to your students. But for right now, what I want to do is go to create session. So when you go to a create session, you'll note that you have to name this this session. So I'm going to call this meeting week 1, okay? Now, with your event details, some of the things that you immediately need to note is there is an option for guest access. So you can actually invite guests who are, people who you may want to allow into your Blackboard, that either you want them to be a participant, or you can actually have them as a presenter. You can actually have guests come in and give guest lectures, which actually there is more details concerning that on the share file. So from here, continuing on, I'm not going to give guest access for right now, and from here we have the start and end, where you can see when it will start, when it will end. If you want it to be a no end, in other words, it's always open so people can come in whenever, then you can click that. If you are wanting it to repeat, then you can do that. Early entry, you can have nobody enter in early, or if you're a person who likes to be able to let their students in a little bit beforehand, you're more than welcome to put in early entry. Another thing is this description, which allows the students to see why you are meeting. This allows them to see a little bit more detail. So I'm just going to put in lecture for week 1. To make this a little bit easier for them. Now, before I hit the create button, I do want to go over settings, which if you go to the session settings, here you see the default attendee role, and basically you can make sure that anybody who enters into the session other than you can have them present, or you can have them as a moderator. Generally speaking, if they are students, go ahead and have them participating. If you had a TA, possibly you want to have them either monitoring or presenting. You can allow recording downloads, or and you can also make the chat messages anonymous. For me, when I was teaching, my PowerPoints that I shared with my students were my PowerPoints, so I didn't really allow downloads for those particular sessions. Also, I wanted to see who was asking the questions, so that way I could give personalized answers. So I actually never really used the anonymize chat messages. So from there, we could see this moderator permissions, where you could actually only show the profile pictures for the moderator only, or if you want to see their profile pictures, you're more than welcome to just leave that blank. Participant permissions. Maybe you want them to be able to share their video so you can see what's going on with them, audio, chat messages. Maybe you don't want them chatting, and maybe you don't want them drawing on the whiteboard or the files, and so you can actually click all of those off. If you want them to be able to privately chat with only the moderator rather than themselves, you can click on that. And then if you do want to see what they're talking about privately, then you can also click on this option as well. Although I would definitely let them know that you are privy to see their private conversations. So from there, we're going to go into create. All right. So another nice thing about this is that it allows you to have more than 250 people to join. So if you have a class larger than 250 people, then you can actually click on that. For my particular thing, I do not. So I'm going to click on save. And my changes are now saved. All right. So now I enter into meeting week 1. I can join the session. And as we see this particular meeting, welcome. Of course, I'm the only one in the room. And I want to point out 3 particular menus. There's this menu, which is the sessions menu. There is this little menu here. And then there's this session, which is the collaborate panel. Now, For the open session menu, here's where you can actually start recording. So if you wanted to record if you wanted to start recording your session, as soon as you wanted to start recording, just go ahead and hit record. Here you can see that you are recording because of the little record button, and you can also leave your session. So from here, you can see your status and settings. You can also give your feedback. You can let the students know if you're away or not. You can share, of course, if you're wanting to talk and lecture, you would want to share your audio. Here, you can actually share your video. So, hi. So here you can see me. Oftentimes, I will. As an instructor, I definitely like to show them my face when I was talking to them online, which allowed for them to see my facial expressions when I was saying certain things or not. I do tend to have a dry sense of humor, so for my fellow dry sense of humor people, that might be very helpful for you. So here you can see I clicked on this little purple panel, which is the Collaborate panel. So this is where you can actually access the chat files. You can also see who is attending this particular meeting. You can also share content, and you can actually look at the particular and set up the particular settings. I'm not really going to go over my settings. There is actually a more in-depth step-by-step handout that is on the shareware that you can see. But what I want to go over is right here, this square with the arrow. This is the share content. You can actually share a whiteboard. And here is for instructors who like to type things out to highlight. So maybe you want to say that things are due on Friday. And you want to, yes, note how my typing skills are not very good. Due on Friday. And maybe you want to highlight something else. Preparation, let's talk about that. Or you also have this pointer that you can point at and highlight that say, hey, this is due on Friday. Make sure that you have the correct preparation. One of the things that I definitely do want to go over with you guys on this is this erase button. Now, here's the deal with this erase button. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things that happens with a tool in terms of Blackboard Collaborate. The eraser button, it's all or nothing. Whatever you have written at that particular point in time, or you cannot just erase one thing at a time. It's all or nothing. Okay, so I want to stop sharing that. I have two options. I can stop sharing here, or I can stop sharing here. The next thing, these two applications, this is if you wanted to share a screen, like your computer screen, or an actual app. This is to, of course, share your camera. Maybe you're wanting to point at something or let them see your face. Here is the share files. So I want to add a file. So maybe I want to add a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so I'm going to add I'm going to add a PowerPoint presentation for my particular class. It's taking a minute. You can actually drag or drop, and you can use, as this says, you can use an image. You can put in images, a PowerPoint, or a PDF. I find this very helpful. So if maybe asynchronously or synchronously, maybe you want to go over an assignment sheet and point or highlight certain particular things that you want them to really focus on, you could actually upload the PDF file and share it and say and underline it and be like, please note, right? So okay, my PowerPoint is now available. It has to be highlighted, and then I can share now. Now now I have to click a slide to start sharing. From there, I can just go from slide to slide using these little arrow buttons. If I wanted to point at something, then I can click on the pointer and start pointing at certain things. If I wanted to underline something and be like, right here, pay attention to this, then, you know, I can underline it. And so that is how you do the navigating the slides and sharing the slides. So I want to stop sharing that. Now, say you're done with your your meeting. There are two ways that you can exit this. You can actually go down here to your status and settings and leave the session, or you can come up here and you can leave the session. I'm actually going to hit stop recording, and then I'm going to leave my session. Now, it will ask you, Blackboard really wants to know how things are going. So if you hit very good or excellent, it will definitely let you go on. But if it was only good or lower, it'll actually ask you the problems that you had. Or you can skip this entirely. Now, for those of you all who are like me and you have butterfingers and you accidentally clicked on that, there is this oops, take me back. Okay. So from there, make sure that once you have gotten to this screen, you can actually close the browser window. And from there, you will be able to go back to the Blackboard Collaborate. Now, how to find the recordings. What you do is you go up here to the sessions and you go to the menu and you click on it. And there is, of course, the sessions and the recording. From there, you have the recording. These are not updated. Okay, sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to come up. Button, you don't have to worry about it. Sorry, my internet connection is unstable at this time, so you might hear me cutting in and out. But you might be, so one of the nice advantages to this is that it is already on Blackboard. So after you've recorded it, it will show up on the recordings. So from here, say, and I know that there are people who are students who have actually had some issues in trying to find this. Well, there are two different ways that you can actually make sure that they're seeing this. There is, of course, so the first thing is maybe I'll go back up to my course menu, and basically I can go and click on this little add menu item, and I can click on a tool. And from there, I can scroll. Oh, it is one of the first things, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, and make sure that it is available to users. I need to name it. And basically what I'm going to name it is, I'm just going to name it the same thing, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. And then I submit it, okay? From there, I just find it down here and I can easily move it up here, okay? Or maybe I want to put it under week 1. Another way that you could do this, or maybe you want to do both because you're not sure if the students will remember the menu, is that you can actually, I'm back at the recordings for Blackboard Ultra. Here is my meeting. It has finally come up, meeting week 1, which is why you definitely want to name each of the recording sessions. Make sure you name your recording sessions so that way you can identify which one. You can actually go to copy link. It's copied. And now I want to go to week 1 here on my menu. And I want to add a course. Oh, so sorry, I hit the wrong one. And say I want to add, hold on. Okay, let's say, okay, so here I am at content. I want to build my content. And let's say that I want to, we click on create a web link. And I would put in week 1 lecture. And then I would just copy this, all right? And then I click submit. And so here is the lecture. It'll immediately take them to Blackboard Collaborate, and it will load the recording. And you go on to hit play, and it will proceed to play. As far, oh, so I did get one one particular question that I do want to go over with you all. Somebody asked if Word documents don't work in Collaborate Ultra and must be PDF or PowerPoint or an image. I would definitely say that you would need to use whatever file, whatever files are stated in presented in the share file. So I would definitely use a PDF, a PowerPoint, or an image, just to be safe, okay? And this is in Collaborate Ultra. This is just in Collaborate Ultra. In terms of sharing a file, not in Blackboard in general. I'm talking about Collaborate Ultra with sharing a file, like for example, when I uploaded the PowerPoint. So now I will go ahead and stop sharing and turn this over to Ren, who will be discussing Zoom.